So that's good news. They've got plenty of money to last them for years. However, all right, everybody, welcome to the channel. Can You Do Any Better Investing, part of the Can You Do Any Better network. This is an educational channel. We talk about all things investing. If you enjoy our videos, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and you can ring the bell so that you don't miss a video. I am Tom. I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. And today, I want to talk to you about a company, stock ticker Solo. S-O-L-O. This is an EV company. The company name is Electrameccanica, and they are a Canadian company, and they make an unusual car. This car, as you can see, is unique. It's a three-wheel vehicle. This is their flagship vehicle. Its purpose is for short commutes to the grocery store, to the gym, around campus, things like that. It's an electric vehicle with a 100-mile capacity. We've got two blue lines. I've got a blue line at the bottom at $2.30. That seems to represent what I call absolute support over the last year. It has not gone below that line, hasn't really gone near that line in a while. Then we have a blue line at the top, which represents all-time high of $13.60. So you can see this stock is trading today right at about $4. It's at $4.04 as I'm speaking. And today is July 1st, 2021. We're down at the $4 range, even though this stock back in November of 2020 peaked at $13.60. This is a tweet on November 20th, 2020. So remember, that's the exact day that this company hit their all-time high. Citron Research put out a short report. Quick summary: Solo is the EV trade for the real sucker. Not one real institutional investor here. They had a going concern just a few weeks ago. OMG, over $1 billion market cap. So at that point, this market cap was over $1 billion. It was in the EV sector, which almost every stock in the EV sector is still over $1 billion, even those companies that have not yet made any vehicles, which, as you're going to see, includes this company. On October 29th, 2018, Electrameccanica announces vehicle pre-orders now exceed 64,000 units. And if you read just below that, you'll see vehicle pre-orders represent $2.4 billion in potential sales at the expected MSRP. So we're in late 2018 here, and they've got a press release that they have over $2 billion in pre-orders. We later go on to find that the pre-orders had a pretty low threshold. A $250 deposit was your minimum pre-order for the Solo vehicle, which is their flagship vehicle. MSRP on this is now at about $18,000. So this was October 29th, 2018. So let's see what happens next. August 24th, 2020, Electrameccanica announces production start date of August 26th for flagship Solo EV. Now this is August 24th of 2020. So when they say they're starting in August, that would be almost a year ago. So this comes out in August. Okay, good news, right? Now, in October 29th, Electrameccanica announces the arrival of the first production Solo EVs and opening of 6 new retail locations. So now they're announcing the arrival of the vehicles that have actually been produced. So this also sounds like good news. Everything's trending in the right direction, and this is the time you'll see back on the chart where there's a huge run-up. So we're just less than a month away from hitting $13.60, which was their all-time high. Okay, if you remember, the Citron report here shows that they recently had a going concern. So I want to show you what that means and talk about it for a second. So this is their third quarter 2020 financial statements. Right here in the footnotes, it says going concern. And basically what that means is this company is not sure whether or not they can continue to stay in business. So here's their statement. At September 30th, 2020, we have commenced commercial production of the Solo single-seat EV and are not able to finance day-to-day activities through operations. So basically, they're saying they're running out of cash, and unless they generate some cash, whether that be through sales or debt or an equity issuance, if they don't come up with some cash, they're concerned they're not going to be able to stay in business. So, all right, that was the bad news part. Let me jump ahead. Here is the December 31st audit report from KPMG, and this is one of the big four auditing firms in the world. So they have given, I won't read it to you, but they have given a clean opinion, essentially, on the financial position. So there is no going concern anymore by December 31st. Okay, so by December 31st, they had raised some capital. They had over $100 million in the bank by December 31st. By their March 31st financial statements, they had over $260 million in the bank. Now, that is a cash runway for them for years to come. So they have solved their cash problem. They no longer have the concern that they're not going to, essentially, a going concern is you're not going to make it to the finish line. You're not going to get production up and running and to the point where you can have a successful company that stays in business. So that concern is over. So that's good news. They've got plenty of money to last them for years. However, they have not yet produced a vehicle. So they had a production partner in China, and I will tell you, they've kind of gone dark on reporting on what's happening with production over there. They had mentioned that there's some supply chain issues. As everybody knows, that's running through a lot of different industries. So, they kind of generically said some supply chain issues, didn't really talk about when their vehicle productions and deliveries were going to happen. It's now July 1st, 2021, and there have been no vehicle production and no vehicle deliveries. They have rolled out a bunch of prototypes, and I'll show you what they're doing with those. Electrameccanica continues retail expansion campaign with 7 new locations. So what they're doing is setting up these kiosks, sometimes in malls. They're small locations. Basically, that's the production that they did last year in 2020 was to make enough cars to demonstrate their vehicles as they went around to different events, and they're putting 1 or 2 vehicles in each of these locations so they can demonstrate them to customers as customers come in. So these are very small kiosks. They have the Solo vehicle, which you saw, and they have a salesperson there, basically explaining the company, explaining the vehicle, and taking pre-orders if people are interested in buying. What these are doing is they're creating brand awareness. Their model is to start on the west coast of the United States, where adoption is much more likely. There's a demand for these commuter vehicles, in California, in Washington. So that's their base of operations. Now, let's talk about production. So whatever it was they were doing in China apparently did not happen. So all this year they've been going through press releases. They were narrowing down a new production facility that was going to be greener and better than what they were previously doing. And what they were previously doing was basically, as far as I can tell, nothing. So Electrameccanica celebrates official groundbreaking of U.S. Assembly and Engineering Technical Center in Mesa, Arizona. So they have broken ground on a huge facility in Arizona. So let's go back to the chart for a minute. I want to sum up. So what we've seen here is a huge demand, over $2 billion in pre-sales. However, those pre-sales, the threshold was very low. It was a $250 deposit. Most of those pre-sale orders are now 2 or 3 years old. Presumably, they've taken some in the meantime. So there seems to be, that's an indicator that there's a demand for this. But, as far as relating those to sales, there's definitely not a one-to-one correlation there. Having said that, on the plus side, it looks to me like although they stumbled through 2021 from a production standpoint and a delivery standpoint, it looks to me like management has shifted gears. They've made a new plan. They've got their new facility in Mesa, Arizona that is going to produce 20,000 vehicles a year. They have been focusing on branding and sales and marketing. So they have over 20 locations now, 20 kiosks or stores, if you want to call them, throughout the West, where their cars are on display, and they're building brand awareness and taking reservations. So there's a huge demand for this type of vehicle. The demand definitely is starting on the West Coast, and I imagine it will spread from there. So if I'm looking at the chart, I'm just going to go through the chart real quick. There's two yellow lines, one at $3 and one at $5. This stock has been stuck in those two lines for really all year. They broke down here in March under the $5 mark, and they haven't gotten back above it since. I've drawn another purple line at $4. So it's been stable at or above that $4 mark for some time now. So you've got some peace of mind between $3 to $5, more specifically $4 recently. You know, if everything was to go wrong and it retested its lows, that's $2.30. So that's where the stock is hanging out right now. I believe this is a buy and hold. At some point, they are going to have good news. They're doing good things, it looks like to me. So I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know when they're going to have their next positive news, but that I think is going to be the next catalyst. So this company needs a catalyst, and it's not going to be, it won't take all the way until production and delivery. If you're waiting for that, which may be the spring or the fall of 2022, you will have most likely, in my opinion, missed the run-up on this stock. I do think this stock is poised at some point with some good news to break out of this $5 range and get back up into at least the $10 trading range. And as the news gets better and better, I would put a 2 or 3 year price target on this, hit its all-time high, and probably break through its all-time high. I plan on taking my initial position in this, and I will hold it unless we get some significant update that shows they're not on track to do what they're talking about. This one's a buy and hold for me. Best of luck investing to you, and we will see you in the next video.